What's up, you guys? Ross Sapp, managing editor of Fightful.com here. News update. Of course, you all can get all of these up-to-the-minute updates over at Fightful.com, your leader in crossover coverage between MMA, pro wrestling, and boxing. I want to thank you guys so much for all the support you've been showing us lately. Chris Jericho, he has a big match set for Wrestle Kingdom in January for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but you probably shouldn't expect to see him in WWE, at least immediately following that. Well, I shouldn't say immediately following that, but you shouldn't expect to see him in the lead up to WrestleMania. He has a ton of new dates for his latest Fozzy tour on the strength of their single Judas, but that carries him straight to WrestleMania. And I'm talking like not just through WrestleMania, I'm talking on the date of WrestleMania. On April 8th, he'll be at Wally's Pub in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. Not exactly New Orleans, Louisiana, which kind of surprises me. I would think that if anything, Fozzy would try to capitalize off of that WrestleMania weekend as well. If he were, I mean, I could see a lot of wrestling fans maybe attending a Fozzy concert, doing a Q&A and things like that. So that surprised me a bit. But no, Fozzy from April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. We're talking like 7, 8 straight days here. They are going from the Midwest to the Northeast. They've got Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Clifton Park, New York City, Philadelphia, Portland, Maine, Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. So Chris Jericho, for all he says about being on good terms with WWE and such, he won't be at WrestleMania, although he does maintain a pretty professional relationship, everything I've understood and everything that he said. What we were told at Fightful was that WWE were under the impression that he was not unhappy, but put off a little bit by the fact that they wouldn't run an NXT show on his cruise. And I could understand that. Jericho's been loyal to the company for nearly 20 years, and he asked for a small favor. They've done sports festivals and music festivals. Why not that? They were told Vince McMahon doesn't like it. And maybe that he was like, well, you know what? I've been loyal to this company for long enough, and associated himself with Ring of Honor, and then associated himself with New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's just what my source within WWE told me that they are under the impression of. So you can take that for what you want. But Chris Jericho, not in the lead up to WrestleMania, not at WrestleMania. And like when I say not in the lead up to WrestleMania, listen to his dates for March. The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 13th, 15th, 16th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. The man is busy on this tour. So as I said, WWE, at least those that I spoke to within the company, under the impression that Jericho was rubbed the wrong way when he wasn't given the go-ahead to use NXT talent on his Rock and Wrestling I think Rock and Wrestling Rage or whatever it is. It looks like a great lineup either way because they got Ring of Honor involved. Whether he is or not, who knows? He's been very, very diplomatic in discussing the situation on his podcasts and things like that. But, of course, guys, we have podcasts tonight after Monday Night Raw, tomorrow night after SmackDown. We had an insane amount of coverage on our YouTube and Fightful.com for UFC 218. We were live there. I want to thank you all so much. Many of you have been asking about the pinned tweet on my Twitter at Ross Sapp about what caused that. We'll talk about that in the phone call that kind of kicked that all off on The List and Your Boy this Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, don't forget, Ring of Honor Final Battle post-show podcast December 15th. We have a New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom post-show the afternoon of January 4th. So we have a ton of stuff coming. Also, I posted a tweet yesterday. If myself and a couple of other Fightful podcast members would do live coverage, or not live coverage, live commentary over an old episode, or an old Royal Rumble match, rather. Sorry, little scatterbrained, wild weekend. Which one would you want it to be? We've had a lot of people saying 2014, 2015, 2005, looking for a fourth one, looking for something else to add to this poll. Now, don't think entertainment value necessarily. Think about, or not entertainment, match quality. Think entertainment value. Think about what I could provide, who I could talk to, who I could find out information about that match on, and we'll do some live commentary over something like that. Apologies for the scatterbrained news update. As I said, one of the busiest weekends at Fightful we've ever had. A ton, over 30 interviews out of UFC 218 from James Lynch, including a lot of pro wrestling related stuff, which you all will see on this week's list. And your boy, CM Punk stood on a chair, fell flat on his ass. That happened backstage at UFC 218. We have that one over at Fightful.com as well. Thank you guys so much. Leave us a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff.